Go ahead
If
now.
you're like your property description on the MLS, say you are limited to a certain amount of words, you can
We're on
create
the same
a
track.
450 word property description that entails whatever.
Using less than
You can also,
450
Kelly,
words.
you can also go based on grade level. So like reading comprehension, right? Like most people comprehend at an 8th to 9th grade reading level when they're just passively reading. So you can say, hey, write this in an 8th grade reading level, and it'll be able to kind of pare it down. Especially if you say, you know, you make sure that it maintains the same overall like message.
Yeah. So I just said, rewrite it with less than 450 words.
Okay.
So the prompt engineering part that, and I mean, I am an engineer. I am a computer programmer. Okay. I understand this probably a lot better than a lot of people, but because you know real estate so well, there's things that you can specifically ask that all you have to do, if you just pretend like this is a person and you're trying to describe it to that person, that's all you got to do. But describe it with enough detail that your genie here will go out and get the right stuff. Make sense?
I think the nuance there is a lot of us have gotten in the habit of Googling things with brevity or being very brief. Whereas this, sometimes it's better to make sure you cover all your bases and really get detailed. But just like Mark did here, maybe it takes a couple different tweaking. So that first one, he was talking about that property. And then just like you were asking, Kelly, we pared it down to that 450 words. Well, maybe now we can have it do something else, and it'll keep building off of itself while maintaining the overall message, which is really powerful in its own right.
So are you better to do the 3 paragraph like you did and then pare it down, like because it gives it something to pull from?
It does.
Okay.
It uses what it has already generated
Okay.
as additional content as well. So I could, create some kind of big long piece and then just say, summarize this in whatever. The other thing that you can do, and I'm still playing with it a little bit, but you could honestly upload some of your addendums and stuff like that, or stuff that is in your contract, and say, summarize this. And if, or compare this piece to this piece, what's the difference?
Or if you like get an email that's like super wordy, TLDR is too long, didn't read, on like Reddit, the internet. And you can tell ChatGPT TLDR this and just like paste the document. And it'll summarize that. And I think to, circle back from my perspective, if I'm working with something, if I'm asking more than say 2 questions of any given prompt, I'm probably going to break it up. But it seems to handle about 2 questions pretty well. Again, once you start telling it, go this way and this way and this way and this way, it's just too much. And so you can get better results when you do kind of pare it down.
Yeah. So I just really quick, I don't want to take a lot of time, but I'm bringing a new agent. She's newly licensed. And one of the first activities I gave her is, here's your buyer agency agreement. I want you to go through every single paragraph, highlight it, put into your own words, and then, give it back to me. So she could basically type each paragraph into this and just say, summarize, and then
explain this to me. You can have it, make sure that she understands it, summarize it. There's those lots of keywords there that you can use to make sure that you get the output that you want. Absolutely.
Another one's explain like I'm 5, which makes it just the most simple explanations that you can possibly find. So there's an entire sliding scale of comprehension, which is kind of fun.
So here's a case where I'm using the content that I had put in before, and I say, create 5 Facebook posts for this property. It knows what this property is, or should. So here's 5 Facebook posts. Now, what would be probably a better prompt, if it doesn't, it doesn't do it, would be 5 Facebook posts with tags. so that it puts in the proper hashtags and goes through that. So now I have something I can copy, if as long as it looks good, copy, paste it, throw a photo, boom, I've got my Facebook ad.
Here's an example of how we could stack those. So Mark, you could then go in and say, what would be 3 hashtags that I could use with these Facebook posts?
Just add 3 hashtags to each of those posts. So then it goes through, it will reword them. And this is where it's putting in the same content, or should be, and then adding luxury living, country charm, and dream home, for gourmet kitchen. You know, these are different things that based off of content, and if it's not right, again, make sure it's right, correct it, but it gives you ideas on things that you can certainly put in there.